Good morning, everyone. Good morning. Hope you guys are doing well. Today is Tuesday, January the 13th. Today is CPI. We do have that at 8:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So we'll wait for that. We'll mark out some charts. We'll go over some of the tech names. We'll go over some of the major indices, and then we'll wait for core CPI, which is at 8:30. Before we do that, good morning. What's up, everyone? Yes, I do have a new intro for people mentioning that in the chat. Hopefully, you guys like that. Good morning, B Roots, Robert, Victor, Vic. Good morning, Cody, Chris. I am. Good morning, KO, Deuce, Dragon, Andreas, Brian, Cinna, Frank, Lamit. Yeah, what's up, everyone? Hope you guys are doing well. Let's kind of hop right into the economic calendar. As I mentioned, coming into market open today, we do have core CPI, which is fairly important. So we'll wait for that. We've been waiting for this for a while here now. Plus, we have some core PPI tomorrow. President Trump speaking later into today. We have on Thursday unemployment. So a decent amount of red folder news coming into today and the rest of the week. But the main thing here is going to be that core CPI. We're right at a key level of resistance here as well. So we'll kind of talk about what can we expect for the overall markets. But with that being said, as I mentioned, we'll wait for that first 30 minutes to develop. So we'll go over some trades. We'll go over some charts. We'll develop a game plan, and then we will wait for 8:30 to hit. So coming into today, let's first start off on the ES. So as you can see yesterday, the key levels that we had marked out was this 6976. That was one of the reclaim levels that we like to see for a pushback towards the upside. And as you can see, right off the bat, within the first 5 minutes, it tipped its hand for this potential gap fill back towards the upside. So as you can see, the overall markets, we end up having this gap in the markets. So as soon as the market opens, we created what's called this gap. We had a gap down. What we're looking for was the potential gap fill reversal. You can see within the first 5 minutes of market open, very bullish first 5 minute candle, signaling that we're most likely going to go back up and fill its gap towards the upside. So for the SPY, along with the ES, we end up having a nice push higher, filled its gap that we created, and then we ended up gravitating back up in towards our previous day highs. So in this case, coming to market open here today, nothing really matters. I'm just going to draw key levels, but as I mentioned, what we do have later in about 22 minutes is core CPI. So anything that I do talk about is going to be irrelevant coming into CPI. We can mark out levels and we can have levels prepared, but at least for the game plan, we'll wait for that 8:30 to hit, and then we'll develop our game plan from there. At least for the levels that I'm going to have marked out, I'm going to mark out our Wednesday's highs from last week, and then I'm also going to mark out our previous day highs here as well. If you want to see some upside, preferably with CPI, break above and hold above our really Wednesday's highs for that continuation, or now it's going to be above our previous day highs for a push towards the upside. Of course, for some downside, we like to now see it underneath your Wednesday's highs from last week. We are going to have a pretty big candle, so it could have a pretty big wick to both sides. So as I mentioned, we'll just wait for that 8:30 to hit, which is in about 20 minutes. If you go into the SPY chart, key levels that we have marked out is going to be that 694 along with our high that we created from last week on Friday. If we're looking at any key levels, as I mentioned, these are the levels that we have marked out. Upside above our 695.20. Another possible scenario here is the bounce play off our 693.80 for this continuation higher. We'll keep this in mind for some upside here on SPY. Downside, I only like now underneath our 693.80. So this is what we have for the SPY coming into market open here today. Let's go on to the NQ chart. So this is one of my favorite looking charts here on the higher time frames. Now with CPI, we also have PPI as well tomorrow. We could finally potentially break above this key level of resistance. So as you can see here, what we have marked out is this flat top break. We've been looking at this for a while here for the NQ. As you can see, kind of building up these higher lows. We're waiting for this higher time frame to break for any sort of continuation towards the upside. So for the NQ, the key levels that we have marked out, as you can see, we have multiple touches. We have a touch here, another touch, a touch yesterday once we reclaim back above our key levels. Now for the NQ continuation, we like to see it above our previous day highs for continuation towards the upside. Another possible scenario could come back down, but I'd really like to see this higher time frame, a really key level break. So let's go into the NQ. As you can see, it looks a little bit cleaner here. As you can see for the charts, what we have marked out is this flat top. So as you can see here, we have so many touches. We have touches all the way back here at your 628, multiple touches from last week, another touch yesterday. And now you can see for the QQQ, essentially we're building up these higher lows. For the overall markets, what we need to see now, break above our 628. Above our 628, we can see our all-time highs. But you can see we've rejected this level multiple times here now on the QQQ. If you go into the daily time frame, what we've been waiting for, as I mentioned, is the break above our 628. Above our 628, we can see now your all-time highs. But we've been rejecting this level multiple times. Now what we need is some sort of news catalyst or some sort of red folder news event that we can potentially push the market back towards the upside. So this is what we have for the QQQ coming into today. Yeah, as for the names that I'm looking at, you can check out the name right here on the top left or the bottom right in the middle. Right now I'm looking at the QQQ, which is the NASDAQ. And I usually go over major indices. I'll go over some futures and I'll go over some Mag 7 names as well, which is just tech names. Okay, so for at least the key levels coming into today here for the Qs, what we have is your 625.50 along with our 627.50. Potential bounce play off for 625.50 for continuation higher, or now it's going to be above our 627.50 for any sort of push towards the upside. This is what we have for the QQQ. As I mentioned, we'll just wait now for core CPI. As for the SMH, nice kind of hold exactly where we would like to yesterday. Key levels that we had marked out was our 384. We had a nice little tap here in the pre-market, and then we end up having this nice continuation back up and towards our all-time high. So for the SMH, key levels that we have moving forward, what we can have marked out, we can just mark out, now it's going to be that high that we created here from Friday, which is our 391, and we also have our 389. So upside above our 391, or now maintain above our 389 for continuation. As for IWM, super solid. As I mentioned, the key level for IWM yesterday was the high that we created here from Thursday of last week. Higher time frame, still very much bullish, right? Similar thing to SMH here. So that's why you can see nice kind of break and retest off our Thursday's highs of last week. Key level, which is our 259, nice retest, hold for that continued push back up and towards our previous day high. So you can see nice buyer stepped in exactly where we're supposed to. Nice push back up and towards, now it's going to be that high that we created here from Friday. If we do want to see continuation, now it's going to be above your previous day highs, 261.50 for this continuation back towards the upside. As for a few other tickers here, now let's go on to some Mag 7 names. If you guys do have any tickers or any charts, you guys can now drop them in the chat. I'll go over some Mag 7 names here. I'll go over some other tech names, and then we'll go over what happens with the market when CPI drops. Yeah, I'm on the extended trading hours. So if you go into the bottom right and you go onto the regular trading hours, you can see that there's gaps once you have the regular trading hours, but I'll turn on the extended trading hours just so we can have a little bit more information. Yeah, hope you guys are doing well. Good morning. If you guys do have any charts or any tickers, you guys can now drop them in the chat. If you guys are enjoying this so far, I appreciate if you guys drop a like. If you guys haven't joined the free daily watch list, that of course is in the description below. Let's see. Yeah, let me go into some Mag 7 names here now. Let's first go on to Tesla. So for Tesla, end up having a nice pushback towards the upside yesterday, bounced strictly right off our key levels, which was that 438, bounced super nicely right off that key level for that continued push right back towards the upside. As you can see here, what we have marked out 448 along with our 448 along with our 438. Nice buyer stepped in right off this level, and then we end up having that retest above our 448 later into the day. Now we're right back at this key level here on Tesla. So what we like to see coming into today, here's the reaction that we have off your 448 upside, maintain above your 448 for continuation higher, break back underneath, potentially you can see some mean reversion. Potentially a mean reversion underneath that 448. So keep this in mind here on Tesla. As for Nvidia, this one's still staying heavy, kind of back inside this range here. Nice bounce off that 184. Ultimately closed back underneath that 186, and now we're back in between its previous day's range. So for Nvidia, this one has been a little bit weaker compared to the rest of the semiconductors. AMD, nice bounce. You have MU, you have Intel, you have a bunch of these other names that are leading the market higher. TSM, super solid. Nvidia has just been lagging behind, so been a little bit more of a difficult longs since it's been staying heavy. As for the key levels, 186.50 along with their 184. Still going to be intact. Potential bounce play off your 184, or now it's going to be above our 186. Underneath now 184, we can see some continuation towards the downside. So this is what we have for Nvidia coming into today. As for AMD, this one's showing some nice strength. Kind of had this mean reversion, kind of this V-shaped bounce after having a really big push towards the downside. You could have marked out kind of this downtrend here as well. Finally broke back above, showing some nice strength here on AMD. Breaking above our 207, breaking above our 203. Now we're back above our 212. So coming into today here for AMD, nice little gap up coming into market open, well above our previous day highs here now as well. What I like to see bounce off our 212 for continuation towards the upside. Another key level here is going to be above our 213 for continuation higher. So that's what we have for AMD downside underneath 212. We can see a potential mean reversion back down in towards our previous day highs along with our previous day close. So keep an eye out on your 212 coming into market open. As for Apple, consolidation, not too much to talk about here. Key levels that we have marked out 260. As for Google, nice continuation higher. So Google and Amazon are the main watches for a push towards the upside just because they do have higher time frames. If I go back and look at this, right, Google finally making a brand new all-time highs here. Key level that we have marked out is our previous all-time highs that we broke above. Nice hold above that level, and now we're continuing higher. So for Google, let's go back onto the lower time frames. Key levels that I have marked out is that 327 are previous all-time highs, along with our 331. Nice kind of bounce here. We also had some news yesterday on Google regarding Apple's partnership with a Gemini, which was pretty big. So that's why Google, we end up having this nice push higher once again. Now the key levels that we're going to have marked out coming into today, we can just mark out that 331. We can also now mark out that previous day highs. That's going to be the key level 334. Let's go back into the 15-minute time frame. So the main level here is that 331. We also have that 334. So what we like to see bounce off that 334, or now it's going to be off that 331 for that continued push towards the upside. So this is what we have for Google coming into market open. As for a few other tickers here, Meta, consolidation still, so not really too much to talk about on this one. In between that 642 along with that 672. Amazon, key levels still holding up. So as you can see, Amazon, ever since last week, we've been building up these higher lows. So now what we like to see for Amazon, really maintain above 245 for continuation towards the upside, or now it's going to be above our 248. Of course, it could pull back down in towards that 243 and still be bullish. So this is going to be the key line in the sand here as well. So That's what we have. As for a few other tickers, yeah, Microsoft, Netflix, not too much to talk about here. Microsoft still in consolidation here as well. Okay, let's head on to a few other names here. Now we'll go on to a few other tech names. We do have about 10 more minutes, so I'll head on to some other names. We'll go on to Intel, MU, TSM, some other of these semiconductors. We'll probably check out gold, silver here in a second. But yeah, if you guys do have any charts or any tickers now, you guys can drop them in the chat. Also, probably answer some questions here as well. Yeah, if you guys do have any charts or any tickers, you guys can now drop them in the chat. If you guys are enjoying the so far, I appreciate if you guys drop a like. If you guys haven't joined the free daily watch list, of course, that one is in the description below here as well. Let's see, still learning. I understand a little bit more, not sure how to draw levels. I have a full video on my second channel. I did a stream a couple months back. I posted on my second channel. So if you go to my main channel, let's see if I can find this. Also, let me actually do this as well. I might just link my second channel onto my main channel. But as you can see right here, this is my channel. If you go scroll down, you can see on my homepage, you'll be able to see my other channel, which is right here. If you click on my other channel, I have a bunch of videos on this. First of all, I started posting regularly on my second channel a week ago, going over all the trades that I took in real time. So if you guys want to learn my thought process, my scaling, exactly what I'm looking for on a day-to-day basis, or just a trade recap of what I'm looking for after the pre-market prep. So you guys see me I talk about the names that I'm looking for coming into the day. So after, you can go on to my trade recap on my second channel to see what I look for, if I was red, if I was green, and whatnot. So this is on my second channel. As I mentioned, you can find that on my main channel. And then I have another video, which is from about a month ago. As you can see right here, how to draw key levels. So that's what I have here. Okay, let's go on to a few other names. As we mentioned, we have about 7 more minutes here. Let's see. Let's try to answer some questions as I go over a few other tickers. Are you trading short dated calls? Yes, that is correct. Are you using any indicators? Not currently. We have some indicators for drawing out key levels that are used in combination with our strategy. But at least for right here, I'm just drawing out these levels myself. As for Palantir, we basically had a nice push down here from Thursday of last week. And now you can see we end up having this nice reclaim above our previous day highs yesterday for a push up and towards our 182. A little bit of rejections. Now we're kind of just right back in between the middle of the range. So I'll be a little bit more cautious on Palantir. Let's go on to, let's see. Let's go on to a few other tickers here. Let's go on to MU. Okay, for MU, this one, higher time frame still very much intact. As you can see here, higher lows are very much being built. We kind of have this flat top forming. I'll be a little bit more cautious on MU depending on how this news forms coming to CPI, but still very much bullish. As you can see, every single dip has been bought up. You kind of have this trend line here as well that's holding up the market. So we're at a fairly key inflection point here for MU. You can see super solid push towards the upside. We're kind of creating this mini flat top. Now for MU, there's really only 2 scenarios: break above our 345 for a continuation towards the upside, or if it pops, you could see this potential kind of fake out just because we are fairly overextended. But for MU, we'll keep an eye out on this one coming to market open. I'm still fairly bullish on this until we show any sort of weakness or break underneath for 324, still very much intact. So for MU, let's keep an eye out on your 346 coming into market open. If we can break above our 346, we can now see some continuation towards the upside. So that's what we have for this ticker coming into market open here today. Let's see. Do you have, let's see, actually, let me scroll up. Do you have any specific news platforms do you like? So for economic calendar, you can check out Forex Factor. You can just search up economic calendar online. If you want real-time news data, the best is honestly Twitter for like major news headlines. You can write CNBC's fine, Yahoo Finance, they're fine as well. But if you want like real-time, super fast news catalyst, then you can go into Twitter and follow some news accounts that have the Bloomberg terminal, especially for day trading, right? That's going to be key. So you can follow some news. I forget exactly. I have a list of accounts that you can follow that are pretty solid. But those ones that have the Bloomberg terminal, you can check those ones out. As for TSM, really solid reclaim yesterday. So I talked about this one. Semiconductor theme, still fairly hot. Key level that we have is your 325. Nice reclaim back above for this continuation back towards the upside. Now for TSM, we're already back above key levels. Now what we like to see is it maintain above our 331 for any sort of continuation back towards the upside, or now above your previous day highs for a push higher. MU, TSM, and Intel have been super solid. These ones have been pushing up the SMH. They've been holding up kind of the leading semiconductors for this year so far. As for Intel, one of my favorite looking tickers for continuation higher. So for Intel, level that I have marked out is just your high that we created from last year. Now what we like to see maintain above our 44 for this continuation towards the upside. So as you can see, the key levels that I have marked out is this exact level here, 44 on the higher time frames. You can see a couple touches in the pre-market. Nice touch yesterday, actually multiple touches yesterday right off that 44. And now you can see nice kind of gap up here in the markets, right back up and towards our 45.80s. So coming into today here, key levels that I have drawn out, let me actually just draw them out here. I'm going to mark this out. 45.80, I have your 44.80, and I also have your 44. So for Intel, we like to now see above our 45.80 for continuation, or now the bounce off our 44.80 for this pushback towards upside. So that's what we have for Intel coming to market open. So Intel, TSM, MU still holding up fairly nicely. Let me go over some other names like gold and silver. I do see quite a few questions here as well. Let's see. After the 5-minute close below, a key level retest on the 1-minute fails. If price action reclaim, shall we wait for the 5-minute close, or the entry on the 1-minute close is still valid after the 5-minute close? So if you're looking for a reclaim, you can be on the 1-minute time frame. If you want to manage your positions, you can be on the 5-minute. So if you just wait for a candle to close on the higher time frames, you're just waiting for extra confirmation. As for gold, this one, higher time frame, you can see nice kind of break, retest, continuation. Now it's actually right back at our retest level. This is the key level from yesterday here as well. So for gold, if you do want to see some more upside, previous all-time highs retest for this push back up and towards our all-time highs here. Now on gold, keep an eye out on your 45.80. You can see a couple buyers stepping in the after hours. Let's see if we can get this push back up and towards our all-time highs. For silver, this one, of course, is leading the market. Nice kind of immediate retest the other day. And now you can see higher lows are being built. This one's actually making a brand new high here in the pre-market. Key level now is going to be this 86,250 for this continued pushback towards the upside. Okay, that's what we have here. Thanks. Check out the other channel. Could you please go live right here 1 day a month? Yeah, maybe potentially 1 day a month. I'll post the live sessions. I'll try and post the live sessions on my second channel as well. I always record them regardless, but they're always unlisted. So maybe I can release some live sessions so you guys can take a look at them. Any finance books, potentially for like long-term investing. There's some good trading books there as well. Any list? Yeah, I'll try and get the list for you guys. A simple fact that you guys never use indicators, major sign that you know price action Student bear chart, tape readings, yes. Price action is always key. Higher time frames. I know you watch higher time frames and not just stay on the 1 minute during trading. Are you waiting for the candle closure on the higher time frames before switching back? It's based off the higher time frame thesis. So if you let's say are bullish on the daily chart and wait for a daily candle close, of course, it's going to be a little bit more difficult because you don't have as much precision. So you can go on the lower time frames to look for entry confirmations. Okay. All right, we just had core CPI here. Month over month came in a little bit lower than expected. As you can see, actual was 0.2, forecasted 0.3. As for month over month, along with CPI year over year, right, came in line with expectations. So I do expect the markets to have a pretty solid pop here. Yeah, as you can see, overall markets popping closer back up and towards our previous day highs. So, which was expected. So now let's see with the overall market, the reaction that we have off our all-time highs, and of course the QQQ, if we can finally break outside of this key level of resistance that we have. So this is going to be the main thing moving forward, and it's going to be one of our main watches today. So coming into market open here today, right, let's keep an eye out on your 628. You can see it's getting tighter and tighter, right? Higher lows are being built. We're getting tighter and tighter here right around this 628 key level. Let's see if we can break above and have that continuation towards the upside. For the SPY, this one's back at all-time highs here. So key level today is going to be that previous day highs. Along with our 695. Let's see if we want continuation now, we have to maintain above key levels. But let's go on to, right, yes, nice bounce right off our key levels, similar with the QQQ here as well. So game plan coming into market open now. So let's kind of mark out key levels. We already have these key levels marked out. Let's change this. Let's go back onto the hourly chart and let's actually mark out this on the higher time frames here as well. So this next level for the QQQ is actually all the way back towards our all-time highs. A little bit farther away, but that's really going to be the next level here on the higher time frames. So coming to market open here today, this is what the game plan is. So now we're finally breaking outside of this consolidation, or we're trying to. Higher time frame breakout. What we like to see, maintain above our 628. What we don't want to see is a rejection and a push, right back towards the downside. So we're keeping an eye on this coming to market open. For the SPY, all right, Q's back at all-time highs. The only thing that's lagging behind is the QQQ, right? SPY, you can see is at all-time highs. SMH, all-time highs. IWM, all-time highs. The only thing lagging behind is the QQQ. So if we want anything to kind of catch back up, now this is going to be the last ticker for that continued push back up and towards our all-time highs. So for the SPY and Qs, or at least the QQQ coming to market open, what we'll now have marked out, we have that Friday's highs of last week. We can also mark out now it's going to be that previous day highs coming to market open here today. So for the for the SPY, what we'll keep an eye out on is your 628.50 along with our 625.50. What I like to see is either maintain above 628.50 or now it's going to be the bounce off our 625.50 for continuation. Let's now head on to some of the names that we're looking for coming to market open. So for Tesla, we'll keep an eye out on this one. Not as big of a pop with the overall markets, but we'll keep an eye out on your 448 for any sort of potential bounce play back towards your previous day highs. For NVIDIA, actually not really moving too much with the overall markets. NVIDIA is still staying heavy. NVIDIA has to be above our 186.50 for continuation. AMD, super solid gap. Now we're having some continuation higher for AMD. Going to be a little bit trickier, but potentially your first dip being bought up for AMD continuation. The key levels that I have marked out is really this 211.50. We're going to have to base this off of intraday price action. So keep an eye out on your first 5 minute candle for a potential kind of reclaim setup for a pushback towards the upside. That's in play. So keep an eye out on AMD coming into market open. As for a few other tickers, Google, super solid. We'll keep an eye out on now your previous day high retest for continuation higher as well. I think Google is. Let's go back onto this hourly chart. Yeah, Google just broke above our key level here as well, which is our all-time highs here in the after hours. So now as long as we can maintain above 334, we can be looking for continuation towards the upside. As for a few other tickers we'll go over. Okay, let's go over the ones that I was originally looking at. Oracle is actually having this nice retest here as well. So keep an eye on Oracle, potential kind of bounce play right off that 200 key psych. You can see multiple levels of resistance now breaking above. Let's see if Oracle can use this 200 as a retest for continuation. Okay, for MU, breaking above our 346 retest of this for continuation higher are now above our previous day highs. TSM, previous day high breaking retest is in play for continuation towards the highs. So 333 is key. And then even Intel, a little bit of pop here in the pre-market. Intel key level here is going to be that 4583, looking for continuation higher. So the best looking names here are, of course, the semiconductors that are still showing a lot of strength here in the markets. SMH, brand new all-time highs here for the semiconductor ETF. Now you like to see SMH maintain above your previous day highs for continuation. And even IWM, really solid. As I mentioned, bounce off our 258 yesterday. Now for IWM, really solid push towards the upside here. Nice reaction with CPI. Let's look for some continuation here on the IWM coming to market open. So game plan coming into today, we'll look for the overall indices to maintain above key levels, which is now just primarily your previous day highs, both the SPY and the QQQ. As for some of the names I do like AMD with some news here in the pre-market. In the overnight session. This one showing some nice strength here in the pre-market. We'll look for that first step to be bought up here on AMD. Google still looks super solid, so we'll keep an eye out on this. And then for the rest of the names, semis still holding up fairly nicely. We'll keep an eye out on MU, TSM, and of course, Intel here as well. As for the rest of the tickers like Tesla, interested off our 448 here. NVIDIA, not as interested since this one's lagging behind. And then the rest of the names, even Amazon still holding up here as well. So we'll keep an eye out on this ticker coming into today. So that is most likely going to be it for me. I do see a couple questions. How often do you swing trade? Whenever the market has some sort of higher time frame setups, we haven't seen too many setups on the higher time frame, specifically on the Meg 7 or the tech names. So I haven't taken as many swings on that side. I've had some nice swings on some other names, some higher beta names, but not too many on the Meg 7. Let's see. Are you originally from Hong Kong? Do you know Cantonese? Yeah, my Cantonese is really bad. My parents are from like the Guangdong. So my Cantonese is pretty rough, unfortunately. Netflix, correct. AMD, 700 by the end of the week. Yeah, we'll see if we get that nice push. Let's see what else. Check the news. Yes. Okay. Yeah, that is going to be it for me today. As I mentioned, we'll just keep an eye on the key levels, previous day highs on these major indices. And yeah, that's about it. We'll see what happens here with the Qs. A little bit of a reaction here off our previous day highs. But now what we're looking for is the break and hold above that level. As I mentioned, you guys already know what I'm looking for coming into today. Keep an eye out on those major semiconductors. And yeah, that is about it. Hopefully you guys did enjoy that. If you did, appreciate if you guys drop a like and sub. Besides that, if you guys haven't joined the free daily watch list, that of course is in the description below. And I'll see you guys all tomorrow. All right. Take care, everyone. Peace.